In a city home to some of the most beautiful churches in the world, St. Peter's Basilica stands out as the most spectacular. Containing some of Italy's most celebrated masterpieces, the Basilica is one of the greatest examples of Renaissance architecture in Rome and truly is a sight to behold. St. Peter's was originally founded by Emperor Constantine in AD 324. It was then rebuilt in the 16th century by Renaissance masters including Michelangelo, Donato Bramante, Gian Lorenzo Bernini and Carlo Maderno. While not a cathedral, as it is not the seat of a bishop, it is one of the 4 churches in Rome that are part of the Vatican. The basilica is built on the burial site of St. Peter, the apostle who was considered the first pope, and it is here he died a martyr and was buried in AD 64. It is believed that St. Peter's tomb lies directly under the main altar, and other popes are buried here too. One of the holiest sites in Christendom, the sumptuously decorated basilica draws Catholic worshippers and tourists from all over the world. Providing the approach to the basilica is St. Peter's Square, which was designed by Bernini. In the square there are 2 fountains designed by Carlo and Bernini, while in the centre there is a huge 25.5 metre tall obelisk. Dating from 13th century BC Egypt, it was brought to Rome in the 1st century to stand in Nero's circus. The square is bordered by 2 semicircular colonnades, which according to Bernini symbolise the motherly arms of the church. The colonnades consist of 284 Doric columns arranged in 4 rows, and on top of them are statues of 140 saints. Crafted by various sculptors between the 1660s and early 1700s, the statues include Christian figures such as St. Paul and St. John, as well as lesser-known martyrs, hermits and bishops like St. Malchus and St. Felician. The dome of the basilica was designed by Michelangelo, who became chief architect in 1546, although he died in 1547 before its completion. Giacomo della Porta and Domenico Fontana took over the direction of the work, completing it in 1590. The grand facade of St. Peter's Basilica was designed by Carlo Maderno and is 115 metres wide and 45.5 metres high. It is built of travertine stone, and on top of it are 13 statues, which include Christ flanked by 11 of the apostles and John the Baptist. In the middle of the facade is the central balcony. It is here that the Pope blesses crowds of up to 80,000 above the square on Sundays and religious occasions. 5 doors lead into the narthex or entrance hall. Once inside, the sheer scale of St. Peter's becomes apparent. The basilica's interior is 187 metres long, containing 11 chapels and 45 altars. The inside is lavishly decorated and home to many examples of Renaissance and Baroque art, with much of the elaborate decoration owed to Bernini's mid-17th century work. The opulence of the decor bears testimony to the wealth of the Catholic Church when the basilica was built in the 16th century. Most striking of all is the Baldacchino by Bernini, a huge Baroque canopy which dominates the nave. Supported by 4 spiral columns, it is made of bronze taken from the Pantheon. Commissioned by Pope Urban VIII in 1624, it stands over the papal altar, at which only the Pope can take Mass. Above it is Michelangelo's enormous dome. It measures 42.3 metres in diameter, rising to 136.6 metres above the floor. The inside has images painted on it of Jesus, Mary, saints, angels and God. Although he did not live long enough to see it completed, it was built to Michelangelo's exact design. To the right of the altar is a bronze statue of St. Peter, believed to be a 13th century work by Arnolfo di Cambio. Located in the apse of the basilica is the chair of St. Peter. Also known as the throne of St. Peter, it is enclosed in a sculpted gilt bronze casing designed by Bernini. The window above it lights an image of the Holy Spirit, shown as a dove radiating out rays of sunlight amid the clouds, helping to emphasize the chair's symbolic significance. In an alcove on the left of the transept is Bernini's last work, a monument to Pope Alexander VII. Completed in 1678, the sculpture is of the Pope sitting among the figures of truth, justice, charity and prudence.